gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Okay. Weighing approximately 85 kilos and wearing the same outfit he had on for the last 3 weeks, ADARA's Vice President of Destination Analytics, Ted Sullivan.
Thank you. And in this corner, wearing a shirt he just learned how to iron all by himself, living in Sweden, where he is probably on his 10th year of paid paternity leave, travel writer, keynote speaker, tourism advisor, and every other subjective title he wants to give himself, Doug Lansky.
All right.
Woo. All right.
All right. Okay, welcome everybody. Thanks for coming out tonight. Prost. For everyone else, Prost. I did iron this all by myself. Thank you for coming out. There have been a lot of people speaking at this conference about digital tourism. We need a beer right here. There we go. A lot of people speaking about digital tourism, and we want to take that topic a little deeper, a little further, even a little wider. That's our goal.
All right. Why do we debate? I think in tourism, we're a little too nice sometimes. Wouldn't you agree? We're all nice, we're just pleasant about things. And sometimes we don't really talk about the issues that we all talk about at the lobby bar or out in the hallway. For some reason, maybe our boss is in the room or everything else. But we decided to come up with this format to actually debate the topics and really talk about all the things that we hear and get them out in the open. Because if you debate, debate is progress and you move forward. So that is why we have this format.
And so here's how this is going to work. We're each going to get 3 minutes per topic, and then the other person's going to get 1 minute rebuttal, and we're going to go from there.
Right. But here's a little bit of a disclaimer. Doug and I are we just flipped a coin on the topics. The opinions on these topics aren't necessarily ours, okay? We are just trying to win the argument. So I'm going to say some stuff that I might not really all believe, but I'm trying to beat Doug in the argument, all right? Just want to make sure we all get that.
Right. Now, it wasn't easy to come up with these topics. We had about 20 we were kicking around, and we had to narrow it down to 3, and it wasn't easy.
No, it wasn't. And we thought we'd share with you a few of them that didn't make the cut, but we thought were very, very important. This is one of the topics we thought about. Will this German hairstyle that was so popular come back in the near future?
But then I pointed out to Ted, it never really went away.
Then y'all like the mullets.
So we also had another one. I thought maybe we could debate if Ryanair should replace their seats with these human cages so they could just lower people into place in the standing position and force them to stand for the entire flight.
But then we realized that Ryanair might like that idea and actually do it.
All right, so here are the real topics. Here we go. Debate topic 1. Will the smartphone kill the tourist office? You're all going to get to vote at the end of this. After we've each had our 3 minutes and each had a rebuttal, you each have these little controller devices. We'll tell you how to use them when the time comes. So I have my 3-minute clock right here.
So, and keep this in mind. Vote on who made the better argument. Maybe not even your own opinion, but who made the better argument.
Or who's not wearing a jacket,
right.
Whichever works. Okay, here we go. So this is how the tourist office really got its roots. It started out as a brochure stand. Then people thought, well, it's going to blow away, it's going to get some sun, so they put a little roof over it. That was the tourist office. Then it kind of moved indoors, so it was completely weatherproof, and even put a person there to restock the brochures. This is the birth of the tourist office. And since then, we've kind of gone to town, haven't we? This is a huge tourist office. Another massive one, this one in Norway. Millions and millions spent on these tourist offices, which are, in essence, overpriced brochure racks. That's what they do. These are gorgeous architecturally, but they're just meant to improve the visitor experience by giving out brochures and helping them find stuff. Kind of expensive. And then what happened? This has happened. We got Wi-Fi, we got the internet, and we got smartphones. And suddenly, this changed everything, right? We had more information in the palm of our hand than any of the biggest, most expensive tourist office could ever possibly hold. Last time I went into a tourist office, I asked them a question, and they said, just give me a minute, let me look that up. And I'm thinking, look that up? I can look that up. I know how to do that. You could just ask Siri. You could even try this after we're out of here. Ask Siri when the Barcelona Picasso Museum opens. And she'll tell you when it opens, when it closes, and pop up a map of how to get there. It's pretty amazing how far we've come. We've really made the tourist office redundant in so many ways. It's extremely expensive to make, to keep the rent, to staff. Sometimes they get a lot of visitors when they're on the main drag, but if they're just like so much as 15 yards, 15 meters off the main street, they get very few people coming in. And a lot of the people who do go in, they are just using them out of habit. They just think, oh, I've got nothing else to do today. I'm walking around town. There's a tourist office. There's air conditioning, or maybe it's raining. It's a dry place. I can pick up some free pieces of paper. I'm just used to doing it. So they go in. And they're out of the consumer loop. They can't spend. When they're inside, they're not spending. Does it make them stay longer? No. Does it get them a great experience? No. That's my argument.
Oh, no. Really? Actually, the smartphone's going to take away tourism offices? I completely agree. I disagree. Excuse me.
Yeah. He agrees.
Remember I said it could be either way. All right. Tourism destinations, our job is to create the experience, to tell the story about what we do, all right? This is a visitor center in St. Louis. It is now packed because people are coming in there doing a different experience. They're experiencing the destination in a different way. They're not doing it on their phone. There's not one single person on their phone. And here's the thing about the phone. Oh my gosh. I mean, who is sick of their phone a little bit and seeing everybody on their phone, right? So what we're going to say, the phone's going to take care of that? The phone's going to grow more? Absolutely not. How many hours are left in the day? How much more time can we spend on our phone now? It's ridiculous. That's not going to happen. How many people in here have an app on their phone that they don't use anymore at all? How many, like 5 or 10 more that they don't use? Really? I know. Actually, the little local guides aren't even that good. The mapping's not that good. People use them. You don't do that. You want that local experience, and you talk to the local to get that information. The Welcome Center is never going away because of that. The third reason, and this is a very important one, data. Data is going to change things. Data is so advanced now, we can track a digital media ad. We can track everything out there, your social media, that, all the way down to see if they came and went to a visitor center and maybe went to your destination, spent money, how long they stayed. They go to the visitor center. You're saying that the visitor center, they don't stay longer? That's not true. Data actually shows that people that go to a visitor center stay 1.3 days longer because they got more information and they stayed longer. They're not going to get that on their phone. And number 4, tourism offices will evolve. This is the Welcome Center in Fargo, North Dakota. It's not that pretty of a building, but they found out that 50% of the people that went to Fargo all called and asked about the wood chipper from the movie. Has anybody seen that movie where they put the body in the wood chipper? It sounds a little weird, but since they added that wood chipper, attendance at that Welcome Center has quadrupled. It has its own Facebook page. People come all the time and take pictures of putting their kid in a wood chipper because it's fun. They're evolving. People are doing more and more of this all the time. There's an actual webcam where you can see that. Tourism Welcome Centers are growing. They're going to do much better. And there's going to be that mobile backlash. How many people go to dinners now and put their phones on a pile and no one can touch their phone anymore, and the first person that touches her phone has to buy the round of drinks, all right? My daughter's 17, she goes out with her friends, and they have no phone parties now where no one can use their phone. There's gonna be a backlash. This guy right there, that's a contest to see who can throw their phone the furthest into the lake, all right? So that's why it is. Tourism Welcome Centers are always gonna be around. They're not going away. It's not gonna go just to your phone. That's my argument.
Whoa. Some big words. Here's my rebuttal. For starters, that 1.3 days longer, those come from state visitor centers where they just said that they're trying to justify their existence. Did they pull those days out of thin air? Did they rebook their flights? No, they took those days from some other part of the town that was nearby. They're just robbing one person to pay the next town next to it, and it's a state tourism office that's paying for it and redistributing the funds. Here's the other thing. How does this lady know what I like? An old lady in the office, or if it's a young person, how do they know what the other person likes? I can go online and get personally local recommended guided things on apps, on websites, and on social media from people who know me or for people who I think are similar to me if I have similar interests to them. And since when is it the tourist office job to start doing retail sales? Maybe they should get into fast food as well, if that's the new business model. There is another better way to go. They could have this, like a Segway. I do agree with Ted. They could revamp themselves. Provide it more like a lounge with free Wi-Fi so people can put their legs up, get a little bit of a pit stop, and have new energy to get back out and shop and eat in your destinations.
Okay. All right, no. No. When you're saying that lady doesn't know you, but the people on your phone do know you, no, they don't. So people don't know you any more than that lady does. At least that lady can give you some first-hand local ideas based on what you want to do. Where do you want to go? I do think that's always going to be there. All right, when we go travel places, everyone in this room, you're all in travel. When we go places, don't you always want to do the local experience and not the chainy tourism destination experience, right? Is everybody okay? You're not going to get that from your phone. You're going to get that from a welcome center. They will evolve, they will get better information, and that's how it's going to go.
If you say. All right, time to vote.
Who
with
made
your
the better
clickers.
argument?
Here we go. Everyone get your clicker out. So, when I give you the signal, does everyone have a clicker? One of these little black little metal devices nearby? You're going to be clicking number 1 for me and number 2 for Ted. Are you guys ready? Here we go. Clicker counter ready. And put up your, do you have a screen back there for this? No? I think you need a screen for this thing. How does this work? It is?
Oh, there it is. Ooh, dead heat. Oh. Put your phones down. Don't use your phones.
All right. What do you say we chalk that one up as a tie? Maybe. Does that sound fair?
I guess. Yes, we'll do that one as a tie.
Even though that old lady has no idea what I like. Anyway.
She does know what she likes.
All right. Here we go. You're next on this first one. Here we go. And the next topic is?
Digital marketing drives more visitors than destination development. All right? Everyone always hears the marketing versus development debate. I'm going to say that marketing matters. All right, let's go. Boom. As I said before, we're in marketing. Our job is to tell the story of a destination. Our job is not to be in development. It's not our job, okay? We are marketers. Everyone in here is a marketer. We're not developers. I've been to a lot of economic development council meetings. They're nice people. They like spreadsheets and charts and graphs and that. They're not marketers. We are marketers. Look at our title. For DMOs, we are destination marketing organizations. We are not destination development organizations. We are marketing. Think about this. Every single dollar we take out of our tourism budgets, our marketing budgets, we take away from marketing, we put in development, that's one less dollar we're out there at a 10-to-1 return trying to get people to come to our destination because we're wasting all this time building stuff. And we're terrible builders. I am a marketer. I couldn't build a dang thing. My fiance's in here and she's laughing right now because she knows he can't build a crap. I can't. I'm terrible. That's not what we do. Let the people that build stuff build stuff. Let's market it, okay? How many of you have these in your destinations? Just one of those old stadiums or baseball stadiums. Everybody, how many of those are building one of these that's going to look like this in about 10 years? There's a few of you out there doing that too. There are so many of these things out there, and we keep focused on building more, and it's a waste of time. We should be marketing what we have. I will say this. Have a seat at the table. Consult, but don't lead. You're not the developer. Let them develop. Sit in on it and let them know the best way to market it and how to change it for tourists, but that's how you should do it. That's my argument. We're marketers, not developers.
All right. Nice try.
Yep.
So it's often the chicken or an egg to it. Do we market it first? Or do we create the thing first? I think it's not. I mean, first you create the phone.
You like phones.
And then you market it. First you add the new features, and then you market the new features. You don't market them first and add them later. People who had this when they got a destination or had something like this, they feel like they're lucky, and other people felt like, well, if we didn't get stuff like this, well, we're out of luck. We just can't be in the tourism business. And that's not true. They're doing this. They're sort of doing it all backwards. In fact, they're not even doing this. They're just doing this. They're marketing nothing in many cases instead of creating something. And what tourism do, instead of creating a new feature on a phone, what tourism marketers currently do, they would just take a picture of the same phone from a different angle. They don't add new product every year. This guy did in the Black Forest. He added the first chairlift in the world. He's a hotel owner, and he wanted to get people to his destination off-season. Here in Singapore, they created this magnificent hotel with an infinity pool on the roof, and every newspaper and magazine picked it up. Here's a new way to observe the northern lights in Finland. You lay in these glass igloos, and you look up, and you see the northern lights. Product development, then you market it, and they make it easy to market. No one went to Kiruna, Sweden, until they put in an ice hotel. And then it was easy to market for people to come there. First the product, then the marketing. The bridge, the bungee jump in New Zealand. It could have been anywhere, but New Zealand did it first, easy to market. In India, they're doing this as well. The rice boats are becoming tourist boats. It's now the #1 thing to do in southern India. Happened in the last couple of years. This is development 101. They just put a bungalow on a dock. That's it. So we have brand-aligned development, and that's why the tourist office needs to be involved, because you know your brand and you know how to keep the product brand-aligned. It doesn't have to come from your budget. You can get a special request from the government. You can get a seat at the table with city planners, and you can encourage private investment. It doesn't have to come out of your budget. We can't just be selling this and providing that. We can't offer this and provide that. Guam's doing it. Guam's using marketing money to clean the beaches, and they're using it to add bus stops and add landscaping and other small developments, and it's paying off with positive word-of-mouth marketing. The development enhances the marketing.
Okay, all right. For every one of those examples that he can say that a DMO actually got involved and did something like clean the beaches, that's a good idea. I could name probably 5, and you guys could too, places where they tried developing something and it just ended up being an empty mall or an empty baseball stadium. In Kansas City alone, the DMO got together and put together the 18th and Vine district, which was supposed to be this district that was going to be this awesome, heritage about jazz and everything. It had the honeymoon effect for about 6 months, and now it's an embarrassment to the city. It is nothing. It is empty. And now we tried getting a stadium built for our world champion Royals. Nope, because everyone remembers the 18th and Vine thing that was a debacle. There are so many different debacles out there, and I know you guys are thinking of those things right now in your own destination where somebody got involved and the marketing people tried building something, and they did a terrible job. Have a seat at the table. Stay out of the development.
Have a seat at the table.
Well, we're both agreeing on that, but I think we sit at the table way too much.
Okay, all right. We said it's not the job of DMOs. It's a DMO with marketing. Well, DMOs add new jobs all the time. This is a new job that's just come up in the last 10 years to be the head of social media. Here's a community manager, also a new job within tourism. Tourism research manager, also a new job, and in fact, one that Ted advocates himself having. These are new jobs in the industry the DMO is developing, and in fact, we now have some DMMOs, destination marketing and management organizations, in the industry. We say the industry is changing, we need to involve with it, and this is the first step. This right here is a giant swing. It went up on YouTube. Cost to produce this video was 0. 26 million views. It's almost like a modern bungee jump. You have something cool enough, it sells itself. My job as a travel editor for Scandinavian Airlines In-Flight magazine was to reserve at least half of our section for cool new product. Here's an example. There we go.
Good arguments. What do you guys think?
You guys ready to vote? Get your clickers ready.
And no draw this time.
I don't think they can control that.
I know, I'm just kidding.
All right, here we go. Ready, set, vote.
Are they going?
I don't think you can get more votes, Ted, by looking at the screen there. Oh!
You guys like that ice hotel, right? That's why you're doing this to me.
Dude.
What's going on? Or all of you are building stuff right now and you're embarrassed.
They know a good argument when they hear one, that's all. They're smart people. It's a smart audience.
All right, we'll give that one to Doug. Congrats to Doug.
All right. Thank you, Ted.
Slow
Thanks. All
clap
right.
for Doug.
Thank you. These are my peeps.
Yeah, whatever.
Dankeschön.
Yeah. I like the Americans.
All right.
This is fun.
The next one. Got 3 minutes. Here we go. This is the last topic. If you had to let me just define the topic a little bit before you hit the start the timer. We're just saying, if you had to, just to make it easier, if you had to take all of your marketing money and put it towards millennials or put it towards baby boomers, which would be the smarter place to place your marketing funds? Again, we flipped a coin, and here we go. I'm going to start my time. So I'm going to just define what that is. Not many people are familiar with the term baby boomers. Age 51 to 70 versus age 18 to 35. And Ted's going to argue the younger group. I got the older group, the baby boomers. There's this many million. Depending on, some people define it a little differently. And I'll give Ted the benefit of the doubt and even say that there are more millennials. This is in the US, right? And I'll even give him this, that they spend more per day on average than baby boomers do when they're traveling.
Thank you.
I'm handing them the argument, right?
Yes.
But here's the thing. There's 42% baby boomer millennials, only 1% from the millennials. 42 to 1. So if you want to attract affluent travelers, you got to go for baby boomers. If you want the backpackers and the cheap travelers, you want to go with Ted's peeps, right?
Sure.
That's what you want. Affluent travelers represent a much bigger part of the market today. And it's changing, right? It's the richest generation in history in the US. This is what their net worth looks like, and you can see where it peaks at age 62. You can see here, this is how much they're spending. They are the biggest spenders right now as well. And you can see here, it's only going up. This is in the UK market as well. So it's not just happening in the US, it's happening all over the place. This is the growth in travel and tourism spending going up in the baby boomer market. And this is the increase. So it's increasing the fastest as well, and I'm going to explain why in just a second. This is the change in travel and tourism spending. It's going up and up as they get older. And here's why. As they get older, the demographic has changed. The old 50-year-old was cautious, inexperienced, passive, and they weren't web savvy at all. The new ones, the new 50-year-olds, are much more adventurous. They grew up traveling, they're travel savvy, they're active and they're curious, and they're online just as much, or nearly as much, as the younger generation. They're savvy, they're living longer, and here's the best part. They're just about to retire or have just retired. They have money, they like to travel, and they have a bucket list of stuff they want to go out and see and do, and they're going to start spending their money. And they have time to do it. All right? So this is who you got. They're web savvy, they have their favorite travel media, and they're easy to target. This shows that they're online, on TV, using media, even more media than the younger generation, so you can target them. They use online, and this is kind of interesting. The older people watch more YouTube short video clips, so you can hit them with that very effective pre-roll. Who knew that? These are your people. Embrace them. Love them. This should bring money to your eyes when you see these people.
Okay. Oh, you mic dropped the clicker. Okay. This is going to be the easiest argument, guys. We're going to do, come on, let's be with me on this one. Millennials. All right, millennials are essential to tourism. He already gave you the numbers. They are the biggest growing group of travelers out there. They are savvy, and that's what they're doing, all right? Millennials are essential for tourism, not boomers. I'm going to read this. If I had $1 for every time a boomer told me my generation sucks, I'd have enough money to buy a house in the economy they ruined. That is true. Millennials like a variety of experiences. They do. Everyone knows that. Every time I've been to ITB, every single year, there are new booths, new experiences. The millennials gave us Uber. They gave us Airbnb. They constantly are changing the way we are traveling and doing stuff, and we all know it. They are essential to what we do. The boomers, really? What are they changing? I mean, you're saying that they're doing savvy stuff? They went from going on big cruise ships to riverboat cruise ships. Wow, that's a big change. Okay? And they're on their phone doing that. You know what they're doing? They're calling their millennial kids saying, can you teach me how to work this? Because they don't know. They're not doing anything differently. Millennials like a variety of experiences. Also, they travel in packs. Millennials travel together. And since they travel together, not just two people on a cruise ship, they travel in tens. They're sharing their experiences. They're doing different things. They are changing the way we do travel and tourism. They're also doing staycations now, and they're doing all different kinds of stuff. Staycations are on the rise, not even way above just their overall growth in travel and tourism that millennials are just changing. They're staying at their house and staying about 100 miles away with their friend and spending money and going on vacation and going to brew pubs and doing all that stuff that's spurring the economy. Those are the people we want to market to. And millennials have more money every single year. Yes, they're 1%. That's growing up every year. And the other thing is, the boomers are going to be dying. All right? You hate saying it, but it's a simple mathematical equation. The millennials are having kids and getting married, so they're expanding their family and expanding the people, and the boomers are going what? It's math. It's pure and simple math. Millennials are growing, boomers are lowering. All right? And when the boomers die, the money's going to go to the millennial kids. Right? So that's where the money's going to go to. So we're talking about where we're going to spend our marketing money. Why do we want to market to people who have already made up their minds? Market to the millennials. They're going to be constantly changing and evolving. They're the luxury spending climbers in every single DMO and demographic out there globally. Got to think about that. The boomers are the most reckless generation in modern history. The boomers gave us 3 global wars. The recession, the housing market crisis in the United States. Thanks so much, boomers. Great job. We really appreciate everything you did. So when he's saying, look at your people, I'm going to say, look at your people too. You started 3 wars and a recession. The largest debt ever in the history of the globe was created by the boomers. Yeah, they got more money because they just borrowed it on a credit card that the millennials are having to pay off. So you want to market to these people? I'm sorry. Here's the other thing. Boomers got out of college, and they got a job right away. Hey, thanks. Now, they're in office. They're making their people that are millennials have 5 years experience before they could even work for them. That's such crap.
Oh,
there you go.
Whoa.
Remember I said the disclaimer before? Remember that? Okay.
All right. Here we go. Before I get to this, let me just say this. Millennials are going to be your market that you want to market to most, just not yet. Wait until they get money and wait till they become the most affluent travelers, and then go. Wait a couple years, and then they're your target group. Here's the other thing. They're not cheaper necessarily. A lot of hotels are changing their decor, trendier furnishings to attract them, glitzing up lobbies a bit. They're spending on new 24-hour cafes and full-service bars. They're adding yoga classes. They're adding concierge apps to attract them, smartphones on their room keys. It's costing money to attract these people. It's not like they just come in. You can do it. But today, without doing these things, you can still attract their parents. Right? And they are bucket listers. They're looking for new stuff to do all the time, whereas millennials want unique experiences, not cookie-cutter brands and tours, and they're very picky. And if they don't like something, you're going to hear about it. They're influenced by their friends, and they influence other friends, and they'll influence even more when they don't like something. They use the shared economy. They borrow and buy for bicycles from each other. They're not necessarily using your core products. And again, they're very powerful complainers. These are your peeps.
What is up?
Embrace your audience.
That guy probably has 3 loans out right now. That one has millennial kids that are out traveling right now while he's drinking wine. No.
You can't just say they're going to die, Ted. You got your time. You're on the.
All right, and everyone understands my argument, that kind of stuff. When it is focused on where you're going to spend your money, all of you are meeting there. We know that. Yes, you focus a little bit on the boomers, but where you're going to focus a majority, it's millennials. It's the biggest growing thing. You are trying to get them addicted to your brand, and to get the millennials addicted to your brand is so much more powerful than a boomer, and that's the black and white truth. That's what we're trying to do. That's what everyone in this entire Mesa Center huge thing is going after the millennials. That's the future of what we're doing in travel and tourism.
All right. There we go. Last vote.
So how are we doing?
That was it.
Did we buy you guys enough beer to vote? I'm looking to see all the millennials in the room. Thank you, guys.
No, you can't just wait for everyone to die. That's not an argument.
Hey, you focus on money.
You just have adventure tours, more and more extreme adventure tours until they die. Oh, my God. I hope that wasn't a pity vote.
Boom. Oh. So it looks like it was a draw across the board.
All right. You guys, let me just say this. This is the last presentation of ITB 2016. On behalf of Professor Conradi, who's spent countless hours setting everything up, and his amazing staff, who are dotted throughout the room and outside, we hope you had a wonderful show at ITB. We look forward to seeing you again next year.
And hope you guys enjoyed this format. Was that kind of fun to get stuff
talked about? Yeah, you had a good time?
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Danke schön und auf Wiedersehen. We'll see you next year.
That was good, buddy.